Well, evening, folks. As he said, my name is Byron Kamenek, the owner of Jack Solar Garden, along with my father. We're planning to put in a 1.2 megawatt solar array just outside of Niwot. By the end of this presentation, I'd like to have it impressed upon you that Jack Solar Garden is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill, chain-link, fenced-off, underutilized land of a solar garden. We are not simply producing renewable energy. Hell, the solar panels on your roof can do that. Jack Solar Garden will be making more out of our solar panels, doing more for our community, and being a partner with those of you that decide to subscribe with us. Now, after what I just said, I know what you're thinking. I thought his name was Jack. My grandfather was Jack. He purchased my family's farm outside of Niwot, 24 acres of land back in 1972. It stayed in my family ever since, and I moved out to the farm in 2016. I had been serving as a U.S. diplomat in Southern Africa on forestry and wildlife conservation issues, and moved back to the United States to live on the farm to see what I can do with the land. During the past, I would say throughout 2017, I was learning more about what we could do with our land. So my grandfather had been doing hay and alfalfa production for the longest time, and the farm tenants thereafter have been doing it up till today. And as I was learning more about the economics of this, I was finding out that, well, we can hay 20 plus acres of land, and that still does not pay the cost of utilities, plus water, plus the property tax. So I was thinking to myself, how is 24 acres of land in Boulder County not more productive? How is it that my family was sinking a little bit of money into this farm on an annual basis just to keep it going? Like, couldn't it be more productive for not just our family, but also for the community? So during that time, I was taking a beekeeping class, and made some friends with a fellow that was part of a solar company in the area. And he came out to visit the farm and told me about how our north field was perfect for solar, completely flat, right adjacent to a three-phase line. So I started learning more about community solar, and I also learned at the same time that Boulder County's land use department would not allow us to do a community solar garden at that time. And so they were offering me suggestions of, why don't I get into chicken farming, potentially should look at doing a tree farm or maybe a horse ranch or something like that. Those are things that many of my neighbors are working on, and I wasn't really interested in getting into competition with them on those aspects. So I kept pressing about the solar garden aspect, and I found folks at the land use department very receptive and interested in what we were doing and why. So over the course of 2017, I worked with them on helping to update their land use code, the solar update that was updated in November of 2018. And that opened up a number of different farms around Boulder County to be able to follow in our footsteps of trying to build a community solar garden that the community can also participate in. During that time, I was also working with Xcel Energy to learn more about the Solar Rewards Community Program, how we would go about doing the interconnection, how we would work with participants that would be subscribers to our solar garden. During this process, there was an RFP that came out in October of 2018, and Sean sent me an email around December 1st as I was out on a work trip, and found out that we won. And so that's what really kicked off Jack Solar Garden, because honestly, before that, we weren't really sure that we were going to win. So since December of 2018, we've been full-fledged on making Jack Solar Garden an opportunity for the community to get involved in. Now, as I mentioned before, we're not your ordinary community solar garden, and there's reasons why Xcel Energy and the Boulder County were interested in working with us on this. So let me tell you. Through partnerships with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, Colorado State University, and University of Arizona, those folks are interested in using our land as a test site to learn more about how to grow crops underneath and around the solar panels. As James had mentioned before, this is a process called agrivoltaics, the co-location of the two together. So we're going to have 5 acres of solar panels. That's 3,200 plus panels on our field. And they're going to be, the researchers will have 3 acres of that land to work with for the foreseeable future. We altered our design to be able to be of assistance to them by putting our panels up at the tracker height of 6 feet and also at 8 feet high. It's roughly in there. The panels will be single axis tracking, so we'll be able to get more power per panel than your normal rooftop fixed panel. Let's see.
Which axis?
East-west. Sure. So we'll have those panels at the height, and then the researchers can study growing the same crop underneath at both different heights so that they can take this information and share it with other farmers across Boulder County or along the Front Range for that part that are interested in doing this co-location and then understanding what types of crops will actually work for the panels that they're going to put on their land. Now, if you did the math, I said 5 acres of panels, they're going to take 3 acres. That means there's 2 acres left. We're working with a CSA, a nonprofit CSA out of Denver that's interested in working with us on creating a CSA, a community supported agriculture project, where we'll be growing food that we can put back into the community. This food, or this project, over the time we'll be learning from the researchers that are just feet away on the other side of our solar garden of how to implement those procedures and put it onto that 2 acres of land so that we can be more fruitful with the crops that we're growing. Also, as I believe James had mentioned, as we're doing this co-location of all this on 5 acres of land, 1.2 megawatts, that's going to make us, as far as we understand, the largest agrivoltaics project in the country. Just down the road, just off of North 95th Street in Ogallala. How many of you all have driven by there before? So about this time next year, you'll be seeing quite a large change. Also, beyond the agrivoltaics aspect, we're going to be working, or we have already started up a collaboration with the Audubon Society of the Rockies. This is a pollinator habitat around the outside of our solar array that we're planning on installing. Audubon Society of the Rockies is already doing some fundraising and working with a permaculture designer, to come out and figure out how to put in about 1,800 different shrubs, bushes, and trees all along that path that'll be about 25 feet thick, running, I think it's around 1,300 feet, 600 feet this side, 700 feet to the east. We will become, as far as they said, the largest habitat hero in the state of Colorado. This habitat will provide for the birds, the bees, and even the people that are walking around on tours on our property. We're planning on putting in various fruiting bushes that will help us out as well as the birds. This pollinator habitat will also act as a vegetative barrier in between North 95th Street and the solar panels. Further, that 25-foot width of bushes that people would have to walk through if they wanted to get to our solar panels will also act as a fence. So that part of our arrangement with Boulder County is that as long as we stick with the code, then we wouldn't need to have a fence that would surround our property, just this pollinator habitat. So I mentioned tours briefly. One of the plans for the property is to do educational tours for school kids from across the county, bring in Boulder Valley schools, bring in St. Vrain schools, have those kids come out and walk the land and see for themselves how food and energy can be produced on the same land. That's not something that every school kid in the country is going to be able to see. Beyond that, as you can see, I have various pieces of artwork here. I think, as most everybody else is, an art lover to a degree. And what we want to do is also work with the arts community. See about providing a stipend for having an artist in residence during the summer times, to bring out folks, to make them engaged, not just by seeing the agrivoltaics in action on our field, but being able to have a picture or some illustration that can help us show what agrivoltaics means to the community. Beyond that, we'll be donating 2% of our electricity to low-income households for 20 years per our arrangement with Xcel Energy. This would be roughly 10 households here in Boulder County that would be able to receive free electricity bill credits from us. And finally, the revenue that we're able to generate from this project will go back into our farm. It'll help to rejuvenate the other fields that have also been hay and alfalfa or degraded by some of the cattle that was on the farm over time. So I've already started planting a 1-acre apple orchard. It's about 52 trees. I'm interested in learning from it over the next couple of years, and then start expanding it with the revenue that we get across our southern field and bring some animals onto our property. All this said, we're looking to support the community with our program, and we're also looking for support from the community for our program. We're looking for subscribers, people that are interested in being part of the community that we're developing on site, to sign up, help us with upfront payments to be able to pay for our construction of our solar garden, and then reap the benefits of having your electricity bill reduced on a monthly basis for the term that you sign up for, having invitations to come out to our farm on an annual basis for events or tours, and then being a part of the largest agrivoltaics project in the country. We foresee this getting more and more attention. This past week, I had about 50 folks from the land use department come out to the farm as part of the retreat to see how they were able to assist Jack Solar Garden in getting to the stage that we're at already. Next week, I'll have energy executives from the NREL's Energy Executive Program coming out onto our farm to learn about what we're doing. I don't even have the thing built yet. So this is just showing that there's interest that's coming out to our farm. And once we are built and once we are showing that agrivoltaics is working on our farm, we'll have even more visitors coming out to understand what we're doing here in the area. And if anybody thinks about the on the political side of things, if you think about the Democratic platform of wanting to have a Green New Deal in the future, people wanting to have more opportunities for environmental jobs and expanding renewable energy while keeping our farms healthy, ours would be a model for that.
Hear, hear.
Thanks. So with that, I guess that's it. Go ahead, I'll take the clapping. Thank you very much. So if you're interested in being a subscriber, helping support us, I have information on the back table there that can get you down your way. Main thing is start by emailing me to get that going. Other than that, please help me spread the word. Tell your friends about this. If anybody is at all interested in solar, go out, talk to them. Say, hey, look, I heard this guy talk. Yeah, he might have a little bit of a southern accent, but that's fine. Like, you'll get along with him all right. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.